Well, hopefully we didn't get that on camera.
I can edit it, so. Alright, well, we got a post on our on an FTM group that I'm in on Facebook from the person who runs it, Jordan, saying that we have a few people that are just starting their transition and wanted some advice and help on how to take their shots. But this could be advice for people that have been taking their shot for a while. The trick that I used to do was what I was taught originally, which was you pinch and poke. But I have a friend who is a nurse who has told me to do it the Z-track way, which is another method of intramuscular shots. So the first Z-track I did was last week. I don't know if I did it quite right, but this is how I'm starting to do it because it's less painful. There was no swelling. My muscle was sore for a couple of days, but it just felt like maybe I did some exercising instead of the swelling and you poke it and it hurts like a motherfucker. Pardon the French.
What French? That was pure English.
Right. And so, of course, like usual, you need your needle, your testosterone, a swab, and your injection needle. I guess it kind of depends on how you have yours set up. This is a brand new bottle, so I'm going to have to open it. I don't have any nails. That's what happens when you dishwash. Because your nails start getting all fragile and shit.
I know.
They start breaking.
I know my nails all are glamorous after I finally quit that job. Look at that.
They're glamorous.
Beautiful.
Alright, so of course get your tea. And I'm gonna sit down, so. The other trick is you want to switch your legs every other shot. So like this week, this is gonna be my shot leg. The next time I take my shot, it's gonna be this leg. You want to switch it up so there's no buildup of the hormones and that may cause infection and all that. Not so fun stuff. Not to mention it helps your leg and muscle heal up and stuff for the next time you take that shot in that leg.
Makes sense.
Usually I do this in just my boxers, but you know. I don't feel comfortable in posing in my boxers on YouTube and the Facebook.
Can't imagine why.
Okay. So first,
I'm gonna zoom in on your action there.
that's fine. Oops. Oh well. You wanna like swab the top of this, and then usually you wanna like right about here for your shot. It's easier to get to the muscle, less painful, blah. You want to like swab the area really good. Oops. And this is a weird setup for me because I'm not at home. Usually I'm sitting on my toilet. I have a ledge right here.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Of course I dropped that too. And what you want to do is, for however much your dose is, if your doctor went over that with you, I don't know, and I can't tell you what your dose is, so mine is usually a full, it's usually on the number 1 mark. But because last time I didn't have enough tea, I took a half dose. So I'm going to take the other half today. And then, once you draw in the air, you shove it in, you slowly let the air in, and then I usually pull back just a little further than what the dose is, just to help get the air bubbles out. I want to put the cap back on. I usually draw it out, that way I get all the tea out of the needle. So the Z track is different. Like I said, usually they have you pinch, poke, and then release, and then inject. This one's a little different, and it helps prevent bleeding and all that fun stuff. Ow. There it goes. post the fingers again. I flick it just to make sure there's no bubbles. I was told bubbles aren't really going to be harmful, but I like safe than sorry. So, the Z-track method, the way I learned it is you pull the skin back tight, you poke at a 90-degree angle, and because I suck at that shit, I just poke straight down. I hate taking a shot. Ow. That kind of hurt. In which case I need a different needle. Can you give me my box?
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. If that happens, if you have to pull back, you have to switch your needle because they get damaged easily and quickly. And see, that's why I put a paper towel just in case.
Sure, make a mess out of my bathroom.
I know, I'm sorry. You should have seen it one time. I poked myself and I drew back to make sure there was no blood. Poked myself, injected, pulled the needle out. Whoosh! Looked like I murdered somebody in my motherfucking bathroom. Alright, so I'm gonna move over just a little. I take it slow. Some people poke fast. And then you draw back and make sure there's no blood. If it's clear, which mine is, you slowly inject. And I get shaky when I take my shot, so. And then you just pull out. Some people use Band-Aids. I really don't because I don't bleed for very long usually. I like to rub gently.
Ha! Whoa.
And that's pretty much it. If you need it, slap a Band-Aid on that shit, you're good to go. I'm going to give some advice too on a Sharpie box if you can't afford one, but like when I first started taking tea, I really couldn't afford one. Just going to put that in there for right now. So I got clever. I have cats. And I had an empty one of these hanging around. So what I did basically was I took off the cap, I cut a hole that was just big enough to shove my needle through. And all of these little things. And then I took some DAP cement glue, put it around the inside of this, screwed it back on, let it dry. Like that's the first, but normally nothing comes out. And then whenever it's all filled up, this is a result of like a year. And when it's all filled up, you can just take it to a pharmacy and they'll deal with it. There. So that's the poor man's job. But that's really about it. That's how I take my shots. Sometimes if you feel like where you poke in is kind of hurting, what I do is I just pull back, switch the needle out, find a different spot, poke. Because otherwise you might end up bruising yourself. And that's no fun.
No.
So that's it. Ta-da!